Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Mosaic Minute. Once again, have a fabulous leader that I want to share with you. Michelle has been with US Able Life and one of our clients for a little while now, and just wanted to be able to share her journey to leadership. So once again, just want to highlight our Women in Leadership series that we are doing as a part of our Mosaic Minute. So Michelle, thank you and welcome for coming today. I am excited to be able to share a little bit more about your journey and to ask you a few questions if you have a little
Yes,
time
thank you
for it.
so much. Yes, thank you so much, Krystyn. Happy to be here.
Love it. All right. Well, for everyone listening, Michelle just had a chance to say how great the Mosaic team was, and I'm not making it up. And I did
Yes,
not.
I did.
So love that we have a chance to really highlight her on this platform. So tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you get to your HR position? And again, I'm sure you've got an incredible journey that you can share with the team.
Sure. Not to date myself, but I've been in HR for 30 plus years now. When I say that out loud, it's a little daunting and scary. It's gone by so quickly, but it's been an absolutely amazing journey. Traditional track. I started off in HR in my 20s as an HR coordinator and just grew, and worked my way up to a representative, a generalist, and then ultimately into a leadership role. And really, that happened organically just because I was surrounded by so many amazing leaders in HR. And I worked for profits, nonprofits. I've done some consulting, which really has helped me gain diverse experiences and shape who I am today as an HR professional. I've helped build HR departments from scratch, which was absolutely amazing, but very challenging too. But I've learned a lot throughout the years, and it's really just helped me gain different perspectives, and hence has brought me to US Able Life as their Senior Director of HR Operations. So HR is truly my passion. I tried a little bit of marketing in the past. That was fun, a lot of fun, but my heart truly belongs in HR and really helping others and working on solutions to just improve their day and have, enhance the employee experience overall.
Yes, I know you and I had a chance just a few minutes ago to actually talk about that, being able to the love and passion we have for surveys and being able to actually, take that data and be able to make somebody's life a little bit better, right, for that employee experience and improve that employee experience. So
Yeah,
such a
absolutely.
shared passion. Love that. And this is the type of HR person you want working in your organization, right? Somebody who
Mhm.
physically cares and wants to better that experience for their team members. It's not about policing the policies. It's about being a part of the talent strategy. And that's what very
Correct.
much appreciate that. Love that. So tell me a little bit about a challenge that you faced along your career. What I love about challenges is it's a chance for you to really realize that you're in growth mode, right? You're
Yes.
uncomfortable. You're having a chance to grow as an
Mhm.
individual. That when I look back at the challenges that I've had, that's exactly what it was. In the moment, may not feel that way, right? In
Right.
the moment, it feels very difficult. But what is a challenge that really helped you significantly grow and influence your career?
Sure. As we were talking earlier about like employee engagement, I would say it was in my mid 30s, where I was working with a really dynamic CEO and very inspiring. And she just saw, my capabilities and started to push me out of my comfort zone, where I was, I had a more of a transactional HR role, and she was pushing to be more transformational. So it was really, allowing myself to be vulnerable, allowing myself to not be perfect all the time, right? And to let go of perfection. I mean, what is that anyway? And so it was a little scary, but it was also freeing. And I just realized just how much I loved that transformational work, like engagement and culture and developing others and really positioning them to thrive in their roles. So that was transformational for me in many ways and pivotal to my career, like really helped me grow as a leader and see my capabilities and skills,
I
and that I
love
can have an impact on the culture and the people around me.
It's amazing when you actually get to see your impact and what the end result looks like for a large group of people. So I know how fulfilling that can be. I also know how much hard work that is. So major
Absolutely.
kudos. To, like, what a crazy thing. Your first challenge or your biggest challenge, right? That helped you is to focus on transformational HR and the leadership around that. That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you just mentioned somebody that influenced you. If you have anybody else that's influenced your career, please share. And have you had a chance to really pay that forward and maybe tell a little bit of a story of somebody that you also have mentored and are making, getting to see their career advancements as well.
Sure, absolutely. So the CEO that I mentioned, she was at a nonprofit that I was working for. So again, she really has helped me. She continues to be a mentor today, and also allowed me to be in that uncomfortable space and that to lean in and feel that discomfort. And sometimes you will be fearful and this trepidation, but you get through that storm and you come out on the other side and you reflect back and say, "Wow, I did that." So along with working with that CEO at the time, I was working with a COO who was very amazing. I actually referred to them as my pillars of strength, right? So on both sides, pillars of strength. And she really allowed me to take risks because I'm not a risk taker, especially being in HR, right? And allowed me to take risks and fail too. So it's okay to fail once in a while, right? As long as you have that opportunity to reflect, kind of reassess, and then you adapt and evolve. So you learn from those experiences. So those were two mentors in my past that I had the opportunity to work with for 10 plus years that really helped me grow. And I've been able to take those experiences and help others throughout their career. So I still get calls today from former colleagues and leaders that I've helped to kind of push them through that storm too and get out on the other side. I just had a call yesterday with someone.
I love that. Did you, I heard you say were both the COO and CEO, both female?
Yes.
That's amazing to have that.
Yes.
Again, how are we lifting each other up? How are we helping grow as leaders? That's an incredible story.
Absolutely. And I'm experiencing that too at US Able Life. So I've been so blessed in the past to be working with so many inspiring leaders, but I have the opportunity to continue to do that today at US Able Life.
That is amazing. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Of course, such great stories to be able to share. I'm very much loving the female leadership and being able to lift each other up. So what is one piece of advice that you would give to a woman navigating their career, regardless of their industry or role? Is there any piece of advice that you would give them as they're navigating and learning how to be a leader?
Oh, lots of advice, right, Krystyn? So
Love
I
it.
could go on and on. So please, I want to hear from you as well and what your thoughts are. So one thing I wish I could have told myself in my 20s and 30s is to stop worrying so much. Stop worrying so much about the future, right? We're planners, especially in HR, we're planning. But to worry less and just pause for the moment, right? And just be present to those around you. So I definitely have worked on that over the years as I'm getting older. And it does make a difference because you really get to live in the moment and feel everything around you instead of worrying about what's going to happen next. So that is one big takeaway. Also pause and celebrate those small wins. So we're always striving for that big project to complete that big project or get this done. But really celebrate those small wins on a daily basis, not only for yourself, but for your team. So I say that to my team all the time. Really just pause for the moment, lean in and support each other and recognize your contributions. I think that's so important. And going back to the pillars of strength, be sure to have your own pillars of strength because sometimes we fall down and sometimes we feel weak, right? Make sure you have that support system around you and then pay it forward and do the same for others. So that's been very helpful and has helped me get to where I am today.
I love that. Just a part of the theme there. And that's what I was ready to jump into. The people you surround yourself with, the ones that are telling you can or can't do it, the ones that are either supporting you or, handing you the excuses right out of the bucket so that you can use them. Those people do influence how are you moving forward or how are you staying exactly where you're at. So I love that you mentioned that pillar of strength. I may have to adopt that term now. I'm like, loving this pillar of strength.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are there to help be your pillars and to support you to move you forward. I do think that a part of that advice, and it goes back to your first comment of, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that is the area of growth. If you are sitting there unsatisfied with where you're currently at and thinking, I want to continue to grow my career, there's an aspect there where I always say, do the job that you want to be in. Like, go ahead and take it, claim it, be the person to
Yes.
figure out now before you have the title to go, make the mistakes, make the improvements, to go ahead and take it. It doesn't always just have to be given. It can be earned over time. And so I
Absolutely.
love your message, Michelle, around risk taking, because you're right. In HR, we're like risk mitigation.
Yes, absolutely. We're trying to
Risk
avoid it. Mhm.
Yeah, how do we avoid risk? Exactly. So we're prone to trying to navigate, and how do you get around this in a smooth way?
Mhm.
That is a great piece of advice. Okay, I'm totally going off script here, but is there some type of, let me use the word failure in a good way? What is something that you had a misstep or that you failed at, that you were like, man, I'm on the other side of that, and there was a great lesson learned, if you're able to share?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like an interview.
I think that, there's failures throughout our career, maybe small or big, but just owning it, and being able, like, being accountable and taking a step back and saying, okay, I made a mistake there, but I'm human, and owning it, leaning into that, and then risk mitigation, right? Okay, what can I do next to ensure that I don't misstep again, that doesn't occur, and be, give yourself some grace, because we are, again, humans. We're not robots, and we will make mistakes along the way. But how do we turn that around and see the silver lining as we move forward?
I love that. I have a sign, stay humble and hustle, and then grit and grace, or like the kind of my resounding
Okay.
theme. I will
I
say
think
you
I'm
hit on
going
one
to
of
take that
our,
with me.
right. I'm like, keep hustling, but be very humble. And I love good to great, the 5 levels of leadership. And at that top, really what distinguishes an executive from the highest level of leadership,
Mhm.
and being a great leader, is humility. And so that is something we talk about in our organization of, when something's going great, look out that window. It is the team. We are doing this together. There's no one person that's better than the whole.
Mhm.
When things are going wrong, or there is a misstep or mistake, you as a leader better look straight in that mirror and say, what part do I own, and make sure that we're
Absolutely.
improving for the next. So I love that you mentioned that as well. Yes.
Absolutely.
I love it. I remember actually, it was when I first got to Mosaic. I was our director of people and culture warrior. Yes, that title is real. And yes, I've
I
carried
did
it.
see that on LinkedIn. Yes.
That our founder, Vicky Hill, had a part to do with that too. I had said, director of people and culture, and she was like, add warrior. And I've never been able to drop it since, because I have a lot of ties to that. So
I
the
love it.
very first big thing I ever did here, everybody wanted performance management. We need performance reviews. We need to better ourselves. We want the traditional like format, and like let's dig into, the job specifics. Let's dig into the core values. Let's dig into, the technical skills. And so I developed this based off of, what people wanted, right? I
Mhm.
rolled it out, and nobody would take it because they said it was too long.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Right. And I was like, they're not wrong. Right. And so, no, they didn't need a traditional, they needed what was right for the business at their size at that time. Right. And something that could scale with them. And so that felt, like maybe, 4 to 5 months of wasted time, but yet great lesson learned of, don't just
Absolutely.
listen to the actual request, see through and listen through to what's the actual desired state, and then come up with something where you get to be creative. Oh no, an organization doesn't want a traditional performance management. They need something that, right,
Mhm.
really gets to the meat of it, that we can base promotions off of, but also recognize team members. And so that was fun, getting to come up with something creative that wasn't traditional.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw 2% participation, I was like, and I failed.
But that's okay. You paused and you reflected back, and then you made changes for the better for the future.
That's right. That
That's
is
all we
absolutely
can
right.
do, right?
Yeah. Love that. So love your advice to other up and coming leaders. Love that it's be present. I talk a lot about that. You got to take the phones, you got to put them to the side, you got to be present to where you're physically at. There's something that you can observe, see, hear, that you just wouldn't if you weren't 100% present. So I'm just going to hone in on that one, because it's one we haven't quite dug into as much, but love that piece
Mhm.
of advice.
And it's hard. It's hard. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of practice.
Yes. Pushing out the other noise.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm. And
Love
filtering through that noise.
Love that. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for coming, and spending
Thank
15
you.
minutes with us today to share your journey. Your advice is so spot on. And again, I hope if you're sitting out there, whether you're in HR or you're not, if you're in HR, this is what you aspire to be, right? You're there helping the employee experience. You're there. Yes, you can mitigate risk. Yes, you can care about compliance and policies, but there's so much more to building a talent strategy for an organization that does create this place where people enjoy showing up every day and they're working as a team. So just thank you so much for sharing today. Wonderful. Yes. All right. Well, if anybody that is listening, we definitely want you to show back up for our next session in 2 weeks on Mosaic Minute. Want to continue on. I actually had a chance to speak to 2 of our clients at a summit that was in Vegas last week. We were at a UKG summit, and I had an opportunity to say, you two are phenomenal. Any chance you'd want to be on here? So we've got some more incredible leaders joining us. Thank you to Michelle. Thank you so much for being an amazing client. And very much appreciate you sharing your journey. Yes.
Terrific.
All right. Well, thank you.
The partnership.
Thank you for your partnership. Love it. All right. Well, everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we will see you soon.